Today's video we're talking about patellar tendinopathy rehab, which is a condition that causes pain on the front of the knee and really down below the kneecap. So if you think about your leg, you've got your quadriceps muscles which run down the front side of the leg. They're the muscles that extend our knee. They're heavily involved in squatting, jumping, stairs, lunging, things like that. And those are the activities that will often create this kind of pain. So our quads come down, they go over the top of our kneecap, and then we have our patellar tendon, which is right down here. It's a really thick tendon, kind of like our Achilles tendon. It comes down, attaches on the bone right here on the front of the shin. So if you've got pain in this region, kind of from below the kneecap through this kind of 1 to 2 inch region, that's where patellar tendinopathy tends to bother people. Also, some people do get pain up here in the quadriceps tendon above the kneecap. So in either of those situations, the exercises I'm going to show in today's video will be helpful to you. With tendon rehab, one of the best places to start are with isometric contractions. So these are contractions where we're going to make the tendon work, but there's no movement happening. So for the patellar tendon, like I said, it's involved in squatting and lunging and things like that. So we're going to use a wall squat, an isometric wall squat, to start strengthening the tendon, and this can also be helpful for reducing pain. So if your tendon's really flared up right now, after giving it a couple of days of rest to calm down, isometrics are often the best place to start. So I'm going to pretend like my left leg's got the issue here. What I'm going to do, get my feet shoulder width, kind of lean into the wall. I'm going to slide down, kind of walk your feet out, find the distance that works for you. And you can try this at different angles, different degrees of bend. So my left leg's got the issue. I could just start by holding here and trying to have my weight equal between my two legs. If it's really painful, this is probably the best place to start. As my tendon starts to get better, I can start kind of walking that leg towards the middle and getting to a point where I kind of start taking weight off of the leg that's not painful. So all my weight's on this leg. My quads and my patellar tendon are having to work really hard. If you've ever done wall sits, you know these are really challenging for your quads, which also means they're going to be challenging for that patellar tendon. So again, maybe start with both legs on the ground, and then as it gets easier, play with different angles and work on taking your weight off of the non-painful side. For isometrics, when we look at the research, you're looking at doing 4 to 5 of these and holding for 30 to 45 seconds, which is a pretty long time. Even just being here, this is pretty challenging. So you might have to start up a little higher, less knee bend, like right there. It's way easier. I could easily hold that for 30 to 45 seconds. So play with the angle, play with being on two legs, but we're basically doing a contraction where we're not moving. So an isometric contraction, which can help with pain and starting to build strength in the tendon. Once we are moving past the isometric exercises, our tendon is calming down. We really want to be looking more at gaining strength in the tendon. We're going to move on to eccentric contractions, and these currently have the best evidence in terms of the patellar tendon. So there are lots of ways you can do this, but a really great way is with a bench, and you want to pick something that's the right height for you. That if it's too low, the lower it gets, the harder it's going to be. So just make sure you find something that's the right height. It could be a different chair, anything like that. So again, my left leg's got the issue. With the eccentric focus contraction, I'm going to do the down phase of the movement on my painful leg, and then I'm going to come up on two legs. Okay, so I'm just focusing on the eccentric with my painful leg. So my left leg's got the issue. What I'm going to do is lift my right leg. It's the non-painful one. I'm going to slowly go down, making those quads and patellar tendon work. Sit down, put the other leg back down, and then come back up. So I'm just doing contractions like that. Eccentric focused on the painful leg, and then I use both legs for the concentric part. Lift the non-painful side and down on the painful side, then back up. So just make sure you go really slow on these with control. Really work on loading and strengthening the quads and patellar tendon. And for these, we're going to look at doing 3 sets of somewhere in the 6 to 12 repetition range. It's going to vary depending on your symptoms. So just do what you can that stays within or under that mild kind of 3 out of 10 pain range. Try to go for 3 sets, 6 to 12 reps, and most likely this will be every other day. Some people with tendon rehab can do these every day. The key is that if you do the exercise and the next day your baseline symptoms aren't worse, then you know you're moving in the right direction. If things are worse, then you've got to take a day off, or do maybe one less set or less reps, something like that. Okay, so that's our second exercise, an eccentric focused bench squat. For our last exercise, now we're going to look at doing the full movement, and we're going to do basically a single leg squat, but we're going to make it more knee centric, more knee focused, so that it really focuses on strengthening our quads and patellar tendon and a little less on our glutes. So to do this, I'm just going to use the end of my bench, and this would probably feel more comfortable with tennis shoes, but you just need something that's going to elevate your heel. So I'm again using the end of the bench here. You could put a weight plate down the ground, put your heel up on it. You might have a ledge or something, a 2x4 at your house, something like that to put under your heel. What you're going to do with that heel elevated, hands up on your hips, you're going to stand on the painful side and basically just do single leg squats down as deep as you can, again to a point where you don't want that pain to go above 3 out of 10, but lifting the heel causes the knee to go forward, and it's going to put more of that stress and challenge on my patellar tendon, so that will help it get stronger. And again, strengthening resistance training exercises like this for tendons have the best evidence, better than stretching and mobility, better than massage, things like that. We really want to strengthen the tendon and build up its capacity so we can get back to sports and other life tasks that challenge it. Okay, so with this one, like the last exercise, see if you can go for 3 sets of somewhere in that, 8 to 15 repetition range, 6 to 15. Just see what you can do that doesn't make the tendon worse, but you can feel it targeting it and making it stronger. Okay, so those are our 3 primary exercises that we use in a lot of tendon rehab. We're going to start with isometrics, then go to eccentrics, and then go to full range slow contractions. So if you've got any questions, put them in the comment section. I'll try to get back to you. All right, you guys, see you next time. Bye.